Hello and welcome to this episode of the Ranting Atheist podcast. Today we'll be listening to the deconversion story of a former Catholic. She was brought up in a Catholic family. She never really believed, but as she grew older, she finally came to the conclusion that it's all bullshit. Bullshit. Especially Catholicism really, to me, makes it obvious, but it's I think it gives a little more leeway for some free thinking and keeps more open-minded people there, stuck in the bullshit, but not so rigid like most Pentecostals or evangelicals. If you haven't subscribed up, Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, and other places you find podcasts, then check out the show notes for links you may find useful, including our Discord server. Would love to have you there. So now, let's go and listen to the deconversion story of Gwen. Hello Gwen, and you are welcome to Story of an Atheist. How are you doing now?
I'm fine. I'm perfect. Just moving by.
Trying to survive this our jungle.
Of course.
It's good to have you here. Like in the last 1 week, I've been reaching out to a lot of women because I had to do a little audit and see that it is just guys. It's more guys than women, more men than women that are speaking up. And when people meet atheists, especially here in Nigeria, they are usually men. But me, I know that there are more women than we think. So
I have more female than male atheist friends.
Yeah, what do you say?
I have more female than male atheist friends.
It's normal. So that's it's maybe okay. That's true. Maybe it's my own. Maybe it's my own bias, or I don't know. So I'm trying to unbias myself. If there's something like that, so it's good to have you here, Gwen. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the listener would like to know a little more about Gwen. We know we're speaking to Gwen. If you don't mind, can you share a little about yourself, maybe your location, if they are comfortable with that, your age, or is it Gen Z or Millennial or Gen X, yikes? Or what do you do for a living? Have they snatched you, etc., etc.?
So I'm a millennial. Have you heard of the new term, Gen Z millennial, basically?
So
I heard that
between
now.
96 and 8, I've been 96, 97, that's, Abi?
98.
So Gen Z millennial. Wait, 98, is that millennial? Is it Gillennial? I've heard Zillennial. This is the first I'm hearing Gillennial.
Yeah, it's millennial. I heard it on TikTok. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't update myself.
I'm a graduate.
Continue.
Studied architecture and currently working in a firm. So
nice. Yes. So when it comes to this religion spectrum, what do you identify as? Agnostic, atheist? Do you do labels? Be religious? Or
personally, I haven't tried to box myself into kind of label thing. All I know is that I don't think there's no God, and I'm not looking for one. And whatever happens when we die happens, and I don't really care. So I think that's just where I'm at. I'm not curious. A lot of people, they live and die curious. I think I'm just over it because we've seen that no one ever finds out. But at the end of the day, I've seen enough reasons to realize that 99% of what's happening is a facade. And it's just influence, politics, and, so I'm not by myself. I don't believe in anything.
Okay, all right. That makes sense. So if I ask you to define what atheism is, how would you define it?
From what I've heard, I've not done serious digging like that. I'm very knowledgeable in a lot of topics, but I won't say I'm an expert, But I
Yeah.
feel like atheism is an umbrella term for the people who don't believe in any of the that we have so far. People who don't believe in God. But it doesn't mean they're saying God doesn't exist. To some people, though, to some atheists, they're not saying God doesn't exist. They're just saying they don't believe in the God people are worshiping. So I think that's what I see it as.
Okay, all right. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So let's go into your religious background. Let's start from the early beginning. What was your experience like? Give it to us, the full lowdown.
Okay, so I am born in a Catholic family. Catholic.
Oh, okay.
Strictly. So, basically, I grew up hearing things like somebody died, me, met, and I should wake up every day and also be scared about making mistakes. Basically, I didn't even see that sin, evil yet, because I was a child. I didn't really grasp the concept of evil. So all I knew was making mistakes. And I was hearing that when you do, my parents, that when you do those mistakes, maybe when you break the plates, maybe you hide it out of fear. You don't want people to know that you're the one who broke it. Things like that will anger the person who died for me on the cross. And that will make me go to hellfire. you know, it was
Yeah.
crazy. So after a while, I was 9 when and that was when my family and the whole religious thing started shaking. Because before he died, my mom, who was a Catholic, lived in Catholic, she went the Sele way, she went the Anglican way, she went the Winners
Oh,
Chapel. She was trying everything because she was doing something wrong. Maybe Catholic people were not how like what's the word? Excited enough to perform miracles and stuff like that. Catholic people
yeah.
are kind of like the few Christian people. So she felt like they were not up to par to do the magic that they were saying that they know that God does, you know. So she started seeking that amazing Jesus power somewhere else in the Christian umbrella because, Christianity is not just Catholics.
Yeah.
So after she did all of that and then nothing worked and my dad still died. And then me, I was just looking at her like, what's the point of all this suffering and hoping and all of that? And then when person dies, you say things like it was meant to be, maybe that was his destiny, things like that.
Yeah.
So I basically started deconstructing at a very, very, very young age. As long as I can remember, I just never truly believed, and I thought it was just a farce, and everyone is just being too serious. So I thought some things were blown out of proportion. But the fact that this whole hellfire thing was kind of like attached to it, I couldn't shake the feeling of, oh, you have to take this thing seriously or else. You understand?
Yeah.
So I was just pretending through the whole thing, trying to force myself into believing there was something special about me because I belonged to this religion. So, growing up, I kept seeing Muslims, other people, and everybody thought they were special, and everybody else was not. It was this
Yeah.
thing. It was just like racism, but in form of religion, where everyone thinks they are better
Yeah.
than the rest. Yeah. So I started deconstructing from a very young age, and I just had questions that nobody, whenever I asked, I'm being told I shouldn't ask, and it's disrespectful. I'm like, what's disrespectful about clarity? What's disrespectful about giving me a reasonable reason to this thing you claim exists?
Mhm.
So when there were a lot of adults saying the same thing, as giving the same random incomplete answers and twisted answers, and most of the time their answers didn't match. This person would tell me this person would tell me this person would interpret this verse this way, this person would interpret this verse this way. And then I started growing up, and then I heard about Job. And then that's when I thought that if God said, like, Satan was his enemy, his most hated is this, why would they be gisting? Why would they be gisting? I'm like, I couldn't get it because me personally, as a child, if I didn't like the particular fruit, I wouldn't touch it, I wouldn't eat it, I wouldn't look at it. So if that's how I can behave to fruits, talk about if I find someone I don't like, I don't think we would have any conversation. Talk about being
Yeah.
my eternal enemy, and then maybe you're the reason why everything is bad in the world. Why would I even want to see you with my two eyes? Why would you be so comfortable to sit beside me and try to talk to me? So I felt something was fishy. It was just like a whole lot of things that made me at the end of the day say, okay, everyone is just workers. And this thing is just, it's in their head. So I went online. That was like, I think when I was 15, I didn't have one good phone like this, but with the little I had at that time, I was doing my research. I found out about the origins of religion. And then I found out that Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, Taoism, Shintoism, all existed before Christianity even or Judaism even existed. And I'm like, so if there are people who came to this earth and died, I know. There are people who came to this earth and died without knowing the Bible. In fact, the Bible wasn't even compiled yet. So, like, why is it there now? And those people, how were they judged? And why is it that in the doctrines of those religions, why didn't they mention Jesus? Why didn't they mention the whole thing that was in the Bible? Because definitely they would have descendants that lived in that era during the whole Jesus thing. So if it was that great of an event, it should have been recognized, you know. And then I started putting two and two together again, and that thing was it came from Hebrew language thing. Why would a God that claims to be a universal God have his names written in just one language? And why would he just speak through one language? Isn't he interested in Asia? Isn't he interested in China? Isn't he interested in Africa? Why is he coming from that one language? And then we now have to transcribe. And then we now have to forge our own name that we want to give him, like nickname, Maria, and all those things. Meanwhile, he said his name is in the Bible and it's not even in English. They had to like translate it. So it's basically, there's a whole lot of loopholes in the whole thing. And I was like, no, there's something fishy here. And I think it's just the thought of hellfire that kept me there for the longest. But then the day I decided I was going to cut off from it was the day I said that even if I do go to hell, I think I'd be happier there than being in heaven with one shitty God that's going to push me around. And I'm going to have to walk on eggshells. And then I'm going to lose my memory and forget my loved ones and all that crap that they try to make look interesting. Oh, wow. Heaven is so beautiful. You eat anything you like. You do anything like, well, but telling me I'm going to be praising you all the days of my life sounds like hard work. I can't even do it on earth. What makes you think I'll do it in heaven? I'm not even consistent here. How am I going to do that there? And why are we all kissing your ass in the first place? Why do you need assurance that you're great? So a whole lot went into it and I was just done. And I guess that's my story.
Yeah, but saying fuck it, like when you say fuck it, like you were ready to go to burn in the fire forever because that shit is scary.
Yeah, it is actually when you think about it. The whole it is giving what is this guy's name? This terrorist. It's just giving Kim Jong Un. It's giving Osama. It's giving Putin. I'm not going there. And the whole lot about it, why is it such a coincidence that all the rules in the Bible just had to, conform to that era? If God was God of the future, there would be things in the Bible that could conform to AI, artificial intelligence, and things in the future. Why is it just about girls and horses and mustard seed and all those things? There's nothing futuristic about that book. There's nothing prehistoric either about that book. Everything was stuck in that era. So it was just so obvious, I guess.
Hold on. Okay. Background noise. Yeah, no, the reason why I was asking that, it's one thing to be like fuck it, but there could still be that mental baggage. Like for me, even when I became an atheist, there was still that residual fear of hell. It was not till I heard this podcast to understand how the concept of hell came about, to understand that it's not even from the Bible. It was cooked up from one Dante's Inferno. That was even the first step. Then it was not like the concept of heaven and hell. It was like a carrot and stick, wherein if you do good, heaven. If you do bad, hell. So if you are somebody that is motivated by rewards, you focus on heaven. If you are someone who fear motivates, hellfire will keep you in check. Then now when I discovered that other religions have their own variation of hell. So everybody is trying to scare their believers into conformity. That was where it dropped for me. That was where it dropped for me straight up. So that's what I was trying to understand. So after I said fuck it, over time it didn't make sense again.
I'm happy for you that you were able to get out of it. It was helpful for me because I had no one. First of all, my entire family is like extremely religious. Until now,
it's a lonely process.
Yeah, till now, only my mom knows that I'm no longer. She still doesn't believe me, and then she says things like, "I love God first, then you. So you have to, get with the program. You have to." Though I'll pray for you. I'm like, first of all, did you just say you love something you don't know more than me? Well, that's so offensive to hear.
Wow.
But yeah,
she will choose God first before you.
I'm very sure if she had a gun, she would shoot me if she found out that, like, yeah, really, I was addicted. She would shoot me to fight for her God.
It is. So, well, then when you were, did you believe juju? Because that's another thing that really holds people.
I didn't believe in that. I just felt like, there are things in this world that people say are out of this world. I just think it's science not figured out yet. So, yeah, everything has a method to it. And yeah, I do believe that there's some mysteries about the world, but I don't think I'm too concerned because I'm not looking for it. So, as long as I'm not looking for it and I don't put myself in places where I should bother about it, I'm good,
Yeah. Now you mentioned science. Did science affect? What were they doing when you somewhat believed, or was science and the religion, were they clashing? Were there clashes? Did you ever notice? Did you have any clash?
Because I just knew that if my dad had better health care, he would have been better. So yeah, science really did a whole lot of me, and then all the scientific things that I knew about the Bible, and then I even read the Quran. That's the funny thing. I did a whole lot of.
Well, is it online? How do you get Quran access? Because that time
online.
Okay.
So I educated myself, and then I even have a whole PDF where I wrote a lot of things I don't agree with, and I use science to debunk a bunch of that. So I got obsessed at a point.
To debunk the Quran.
Yes, yeah.
Can you give me some examples? Do you have any remember?
I can send them to you. I can send the whole file to you. Off the top of my head, I can't really. I just did my research to back it up, and there was something about the earth is flat and all those bullshit. So, and then the whole thing where they said flies, if you dip a fly, the wing of a fly into the tea or whatever, it will heal you. If you drink camel piss, rubbish inside that book. A whole lot of rubbish.
What the fuck? Are you serious? Like the camel piss thing is from the Quran?
Yes, it said you can drink camel piss and then a lot of things will be detox to your body, you'll be healed, blah, 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 blah. Just random things. And, I don't worry, I'll send you the file. You will laugh a lot when you see the way it's book. This was things I wrote like 7 years ago.
Blood of. Wait, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
All this happened, this is 2020, 16?
Yeah, 16, 17.
God damn it. That is awesome.
I was actually
awesome.
determined, and I didn't want to bullshit myself, so I went to the digging. I went straight to digging. I make sure to document everything.
Nice. Because me, if not for Kuro, I don't know if my eye would have been opened, or maybe something else would have triggered it. Now, as a woman, I don't know. There's this question like, why do you think religion or why do you think like this our society in Nigeria now? Why do you think religion has such a stronghold on women? Or do you feel there's any particular reason?
A lot of women think they're good evening. A lot of women think they're special. Like in the umbrella of religion, it has made them kind of delusionally feel special, different. Or you guys are the mothers, you guys are the prayer warriors, you guys are all those things feed their ego, and they feel like that's the only place they can feel special because in every other aspect of the community, we are beneath, we are second tier, we are subhuman. So it appeals to them because in real life we have nothing much in the society, hierarchy, wealth, generational wealth, bodily autonomy. We just lose so much. We lose a lot. We're losers. I'm a feminist, so I just like being factual. I'm not saying women in particular we are losers. I'm saying in every other aspect in life we don't have the upper hand, and religion has somewhat put some little seeds here and there to make us feel special.
Yeah, religion is one of the major pillars of patriarchy. Like it's a very key pillar, especially in this Nigeria. If one can.
Men are
break
head
down.
of men are
Just wives obey your husbands, blah blah blah. The marriage aspiration, it makes me want to puke. I saw one video of women when they were praying, wearing wedding dresses and praying for husband. I'm like, this is beyond sad. I wanted to cry.
It's a mind fuck. What would I say? Just glad I've never been like that. Like even before I did transition, I was never crazy about marriage. In fact, I told my mom I don't want children at an early age because I don't.
How did she take it?
She didn't take it well. Even till today, she's like, I should shut up. But I'm like, don't worry, life will shock you.
And I'm like, is it your belly? Is it your womb? Like you must have children. No, excuse you. Say my legacy must come. Oh, your legacy ends with me. Thank you.
Legacy, actually, that's the thing. People feel like they're too special. Even the richest people of a decade ago, we can't even remember their names right now. Talk of we ordinary. Why do we always? What legacy? We don't even remember our great grandfather. We don't remember our great grandfather. I don't know his name. I don't know his face. So what legacy?
I tell you, it's even the rich people that keep their records of their ancestry. Because my father, my grandfather said it's only my father's father that I know of, but somehow, because of their relationship, I don't even know his face. He's a Muslim, so they've had some quanta issue when my father became a Christian. I will walk up past my grandfather. I wouldn't know it. It's that bad. But you now say legacy of what?
Yeah, that's the problem we have as Africans. First of all, we just have this thing in our head where we feel like we're creating something special. You're giving birth. It's not special. We've been doing it since the beginning of humanity. It's not special, trust me. And we would even do better with less of that because we are dealing with a whole lot right now. I don't see why bringing a child into this world makes you feel like you don't want to grand thing when you're just like every other person. Like it's literally the most common thing ever. You want to say what's the most common thing in this world? It's not sliced bread. It's not mosquitoes. It's we giving birth. It's so common. It's the reason why we're all here. So I don't know why people feel like. Well, I feel like people have children for selfish reasons. So.
It's see when people talk about childbirth, I'm like, both ways it's selfish, so choose yours and live with it. Leave everybody with their own choice. Don't stress anybody that doesn't want to have children. Don't stress people that want to have 10. Let them face their problem. Yes, we know it's kind of fucked up, especially if you don't have the means to take care of it, but it's your body.
Exactly.
It's simple as that, but it's always the religious that want to encroach on other people's rights. Now, now in the spirit of this, now in this looking at Nigeria, how do you see religion being responsible for the state of our country?
It's the root of all our problems. I see it as the root of all our problems because instead of us to focus on things that matter, we'll be like, we leave it to God. God will judge you, karma, and whatever. And you know, the funny thing, the people committing these atrocities are also religious people like them. So who is the real sinner? Who is the real? If everybody are fighting is also religious like you, then we are all the fucking devils that we are trying to ban. We're trying to bash. It's crazy. You see people that can solve things like borehole issues, road issues, safety issues. Instead of them to say, okay, this is how we'll protest and do this so that our governor will do some work. You know what they will say? They'll say, don't worry, we'll leave the country very soon when we have money. Or they'll say things like, don't worry, God will help us. They will not see us. Enemies will not see us. When we are at the front, they'll be at the back. When they are at the back, we'll be at the front.
This economy will favor me.
Hey, until they catches up with them, then they start saying we are doomed. They will not start saying Antichrist. We are the end times.
Oh God, damn! Anytime there's war, it always comes up. It always comes up. We are at end times 1914, end times 2014, end times 3014. It will continue forever and ever. The goalpost is everlasting, shifting forever and ever. Now, I have one, I call it a random question. Like, have you ever come across this Pascal's wager?
I've heard about it, but what is it really about? I haven't taken my time to...
Okay, so this is basically Pascal's wager. And it's by Blaise Pascal. Pascal. You know the person that did Pascal's triangle, that mathematics system?
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can, now you do and we talk this nonsense. Say it's better to believe than to die and find out that God is not real, than for you not to believe and find out that it is real.
So, in other words, it's better for me to believe in an asshole I don't even like. What's the point of pretending when he knows I don't like him? Deceive. If such a God exists, you think you can actually deceive him by forcing yourself to?
That's the thing. That's the part they don't really think of. You want me to conform? I can conform.
For a scientist, that just it kills his credibility in a lot of ways because he doesn't understand the concept of religion and the idea they have of an all-seeing God, all-seeing, all-knowing, and all of that, which is also a very flawed terminology, a very flawed rhetoric, because you can't be all-seeing and all-knowing and then you're testing us. Is it like your knowledge never reaches that side? What's the point? What's the point?
I think it's the beauty of what do you call that thing now? Is it this segment a bit partition your mind in a way, because there's a way like when they face their occupation, their mind is fully logical. Once they switch to religion, you're done. I think that could be his own case in that situation, because he made some like Pascal's triangle. That's a fucking brilliant way of solving stuff. Like, but still, Pascal's wager is bullshit. Because the way me I answer it, I'm like, you are assuming it's only your God that exists.
And there is like 5,000 others.
5,000 Abi? Is it 5,000 Abi 9,000 or 10,000? That's what I'm like. You assume it is only your God that's in this game. So please rethink the nonsense you just said. I don't buy it. So moving on. Another question I have. Now, what would you say to someone who just can't imagine the existence of this world without a creator, because of what has happened to them based on some experiences? What would you say to such a person that says it is impossible to just see this world so that there's no creator, at least?
Well, what I would say is, so far, since we do have no evidence that, there's a creator, and then we also don't have any concrete evidence to say there is no creator, I just think what happens after doesn't really, doesn't depend on you, because you are one in a billion of people who have existed, and you're not as significant as you think you are. In the grand scale of things, in the grand scale of things, you are like a tiny speck of dust in the sandstorm. So when you're so focused on, oh, I want to be on the right side, I want to be on this, just remember all the other possibilities that existed before you were alive. You can never get it right. Whatever you think right now is your ideal, you can never get it right. Because a billion people lived before you and a billion people will live after you. And the probability mathematically is just, it's telling you you're wrong. Just do the math. You're wrong. So that's what I would say to the person.
Damn it.
Just live your life and stop disturbing yourself. Stop thinking of, if you say you love that God and you're forced to worship him in a way, because we all know, yeah, they are forced to worship him, and they know deep down because they can't stand against the idea of somebody that can put them in hell. So that's why they are doing it by force, by fire. So if you're doing it because, oh, this God will put me in hell, then think and search in your heart and ask yourself, is that a good God? Is that a good, is it, whatever it is that you think you're worshiping, does that thing sound good to you? Why would you create something so devious that it isn't worth existing? In fact, for a very finite sin that happens on this earth, let's take the amount of time that has passed in this world. Let's calculate that, say, it's 2 trillion seconds. Well, I know that it's more than that, just for example. Yeah. Somebody committed murder, it lasted 5 seconds. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, it's an insane thing, but then it lasted 2 seconds of all the timeline. True time, that person used only 2 seconds to cut somebody pain. And then you want to, the punishment for that person is an eternity of wickedness. And the funny thing is, he didn't even ask to be born. He didn't even ask to exist. So I don't think you can quantify, justify whatever you believe in. Because that doesn't sound like a good God to me. That sounds like a tyrant. That sounds like a bored person with too much power on their hands.
Seriously bored. Like, when you say God is all sufficient, I'm like, so why the fuck did he create human beings? Because you say you saying you praise God, you now be like, he can raise up stones. Let the motherfucker raise the stones up, please. Leave me alone. My throat is paining me.
Around since technology existed, since cameras were invented, it hasn't been coming around.
Shy. It's camera shy. It's camera shy. It's not easy to be in front of camera now. Don't you know that? It's not easy.
Oh my God.
Nonsense. Yeah, so now, if there's somebody listening right now who, what you have shared so far is making sense to them, they can see the logic, but they are just holding on because they pray to God one time for one miracle and somehow it happened 2, 3, 4 times. God has come through for them. They've always attributed it. From our own perspective, we see it as attribution, but to them, it is God answering them. They resonate with your story right now. They understand why you got to where you are. But that is still making them hold on to God. What would you say is such a person?
Okay. What I would say to the person is that even my worst enemy right now is enjoying life its own way. Is having something good they can say is happening to them. Everyone's going to go through good and bad. In fact, you can't avoid it as a human being in general. So I think that's a really close-minded way to look at things. Because the same way good things happen to you, the same way good things happen to me. In fact, more good things happen to people who don't even believe in God. So I don't think you can just particularly say, you should just be grateful for life, grateful for nature, grateful for the good that you get in this big bad world.
Grateful to who?
Yeah, you don't have to be grateful to anything in particular since you know nothing. I think you just have to exist and then see what comes after. But I don't think you have to live in fear. Except you're a criminal, a hardened criminal, you live your life being foolish. And then maybe that fear is your punishment. That fear in the present is your punishment. Maybe even after you die, nothing happens. And then it's just that fear that ate you up in your life, and that's your fucking punishment. But at the end of the day, whether you believe that there's one entity that is guiding your life or whatever, I just feel like if there's an entity guiding your life, it won't let bad things happen to you. In fact, you will not be where you are right now. And those small menial things that you're thinking, oh, it makes me special. those first 1 million things that you say your God has given to you. Me, if I have it, I bet you I have it. So,
It's the devil that gave you.
exactly. So just think about it because it really makes no sense. And if that's just you trying to segregate yourself and make yourself look special, because even people in Islam, people in Hindu, people even doing cults, Satanism, all those things, they also give thanks. So they also give thanks to their own God that they're serving. You get me? So everybody in this religion thing, they feel like they're special when good things happen to them. They find a couch on sale, a very expensive couch on sale, and they're like, oh my God, it's God that allowed me to find this couch. Find me, I'm picking gold off the streets of the floor. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I don't even mention any God because I just know that I'm not the first person to pick gold on the floor. Are you getting me? So that's the way I say it.
You went out for a few seconds, but it's all good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're almost done. I think I have like 2 more questions. So the next one now is can you think of any certain type of evidence that will convince you if any god of any religion is real? Like, do you have any methodology that you need to give the religionists?
Like something that will convince me that if I see it, I'll believe that God is real.
Yeah, no, it's one thing to believe it is real and another thing to not like the entity. So we're talking about you believing this entity is real. Is there any kind of evidence that can convince you?
They should bring the God now himself. Yes, that's the only thing, because the word of mouth of man is never reliable. Even the malaria drug you're taking today, we can find out tomorrow that it causes cancer. We're not sure of anything 100% in this world. And word of mouth is just, it can be changed, it can be interchanged, it can be, it has never been recorded to be exact. Even the way we calculate things will be shifted. We used to use almighty formula before, but now we figured out that there's an error with it and we're doing something else. So that's just crazy. That's just it. Like, except you bring it, see what you see is what you get with me. Personally, I think there are a lot of things we use our eye to see and we are not even really seeing it well. Because nothing in this world is true to origin, true to identity. Even me and your personalities are just it's an external reaction to what this world has carved us out to be. None of us here are special. None of us here are. Any character you think you have right now, somebody has acted it before. So yeah, except I see that thing. Even if I see the God share me, I will still look at it and say, you don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. That's just the thing. That's so. Yeah. Yeah,
that makes sense. Now, have you ever faced any discrimination, or when you're outside, you don't let anybody know? Do you let anybody know you're an atheist? Have you ever had a cause, or
honestly, there's some spaces I'm in. I don't bother to, I'm not like Christians who go around trying to announce who I am.
Yeah.
Or what I say. I don't.
What I mean, like in conversation, like when some people already assume, once they don't see hijab on your head, they assume you're a Christian. So do you correct them?
I would correct them if necessary, but what I do is, because I know that I'm dealing with mad people, I read the room first before I know how to respond. Because some people are extremists, and they would just want to, oh, she's not in my religion, that means she's our enemy. That's how they think. It's always a us versus them thing. And it's very crazy. So yeah, I just be careful, because we live in a world where people are grown as adults but still very mentally.
They believe we can steal penises and vaginas.
I'm telling you, that's crazy.
The boss, they want beat me for my office. They argue with them like, oh God, it's not real. They were ready to. I'm like, come on, auto police. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually insane that they would say that. Anyways, religion is 99% of the problem we have right now, and I think it was carefully orchestrated. And the people who have caused this thing that we're going through right now, they've died. That's the funny thing. So yeah, we're just trying to battle it, and I think it's going to fade out. I think it's going to fade out because our generation and
Of
the
course,
oncoming.
it's just that it's not fast enough.
Yeah, it's not fast enough. It's going to take time.
It's not fast enough.
It
Not
sucks
fast
for it.
enough. Yeah. So, do you have any resources you'd like to recommend? Maybe books, blogs, podcasts, YouTube channel. Do you have any such thing that can be of help to anybody?
What I would say is there is this girl on TikTok. I would love to recommend her page. Her name is Christy. Christy. Kristi.
Okay.
Christy. Just put hashtag. Just put Christy. Deconstructing in your search bar.
Okay.
You would see all her videos. She really broke down a lot of my thoughts and arguments and all of that. And then go to Reddit. Where you see real people, real experiences, real debates, real conversation. And I would also encourage people to actually do in-depth research, because this is not a topic where you just do go Google or whatever. Do a whole lot of research. Take time, take months, take years. You will get somewhere, I tell you, if you're living this world based off of what your parents told you and you believe it's the truth, then I'm sorry for you. Your parents are also as gullible as you are. They're human beings. They're not superhuman. They're not wise tortoise or whatever it is. If they were as wise as you think they are, they won't be where they are today. In fact, they will be in better positions and you would have better resources. So you should be able to say for yourself, okay, I want to know what this world is about before I die, and try and fulfill something organic, genuine for yourself. Think for yourself. Anybody in any religion right now, I tell you, they're thinking based on what someone told them and their environment. Because I bet you, if you were born in Iran, you wouldn't even be a Christian. If you were born in India, you wouldn't be a Muslim, you would be Hindu or one other thing. If you were born in China, you'd probably be an atheist. So it's basically a geographical thing. And you just need to know yourself. Know yourself outside of this thing that people have pounded upon you. And just learn about life, learn about people around you, learn about history. Yeah, that's what I would say.
All right, so to wrap up, you want us to find you online beside you on Discord?
Yeah. I actually have a TikTok. I was doing a lot of deconstructing stuff on it, but then I actually lost interest because I wasn't making money on TikTok, And one thing about this life, I don't like to put so much time and effort into something I know that only cause me anger. This particular topic of deconstructing and being an atheist, it causes me pain, physical pain, because I know how terrible it is to live as a religious person. I know how much anxiety I had and how much of me was messed up by being in a religion. So coming online every day to make content out of it, and there's no incentive for my suffering, I just gave up. So I haven't been posting, but that's just
fair enough. Me, I find it's fun for me, so that's why. I'm I don't mind. I even have to invest some of my salary to get some equipment, so I enjoy it. So when I'm no more enjoying it, that's when everybody will stop hearing from me. Well, the anger. The Nigeria keeps fueling my anger, so I don't think I will ever stop. That's it. Fucking hell, it's crazy, man. So go ahead. So besides TikTok, no other place I'll be. Maybe just find me for Discord, JJ. If you want to.
I'm well hidden. I'm quite well hidden on social media. Like TikTok was the first serious platform I ever took. I don't ever have a Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. I go there to retweet and stuff, but I don't actively stay there, post anything. I don't put my face, I don't put my name out there,
Yeah. Fair enough. So come on, if you are listening, come on Discord. Join our Discord, JJ. That's all. That's the way you can.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. It's been awesome hearing your story. Really appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. I like the work you do. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to this episode. Please subscribe up Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, and other places you find podcasts. Then check out the show notes for links you may find useful, especially our Discord server. We'd love to have you there. Have a great week, and I will catch you on the next one.